Hello everyone, my name is Amol Nirgukdar. I'm the CEO of Patient Prism. We're here live at Dykema DSO Industry Conference, probably the top, not probably, the top conference for DSOs in 2021. They really have overdid it before the highest amount of attendance of any conference in the past, 1,306 people. And I'm here, sitting here with Len Wolfe, who is the chairman and CEO of the entire Dykema organization. Len, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Amol. I appreciate this and appreciate you being here and all the sponsors. It's been a great day and a half already. We've got a lot of stuff still to do. Mia Hamm coming up this afternoon and fireworks tonight. So it's going to be terrific.
I am excited. I have been friends of Dykema for a long time. I've been obviously friends with Brian for a long time. Through that process, I've learned and spent a lot of quality time with the attorneys there. I 2 years ago, we invited about 15, 20 attorneys to my Tampa studios, and we did 70 videos in 2 days.
Wow.
Talking about everything that each of the attorney brought to the table for the DSO group. It was and I got to learn them. We took them to dinner, and from the litigators to the corporate guys, and they all spent in a very, our studios are very small. I mean, we're not a, and they were all sitting in like a little room. All these attorneys who are high-paid attorneys sitting in one room trying to respond to their stuff. But we recorded so much content. Brian at the time told me was that there's more content that we've recorded in 2 days than our entire history of our group.
Wow.
So I learned a lot about
the firm.
I learned a lot about the firm. I learned a lot about the people that make the firm.
Yes.
And I kid you not, Len, it's some of the best people I've met in the legal profession are part of this Dykema DSO industry group. So
I feel very fortunate to have been part of Dykema for 28 years. I was a summer associate, an associate, a young partner, and then went on the board. I was a director, and then now this new role, being elected chairman of the firm and CEO, is it's a great honor. It's very humbling from my colleagues. People will ask why I stayed, and frankly, it was the people, the work, the clients. Some of best business relationships and friendships I've made has been with clients that I've been able to work with over the years. So when you have challenging work, great colleagues to not only do work with, but to cross-sell for work, it's hard to want to leave that. It's just it's a great environment, and I get that. I tell folks who don't know a lot about Dykema, that's if you go to all our offices, there's a culture that's there with our people that is very common that you'll see.
One of the things I have noticed when speaking to the folks I have spoken to is their approach to law is very solution oriented. Sometimes lawyers get a bad reputation for creating more questions than answers, or creating more problems than what you had thought about. It's a very consultative, solution-oriented approach to legal services, legal help. Is that true, or am I just, is that something that's part of your psyche?
It is. I think one of the things we've tried to do is focus not on what we think is important, but what the client's priorities are.
Sure.
And then really delivering on those priorities for the client. Sometimes the easiest solution is not a knock-down, drag-out litigation matter. It may be changing the law or changing a regulation, but finding something that meets the client's needs and solves a business problem in a way that's efficient, effective, and gets the client where they want to go. So I think we do put the client's needs first. I think we're really good at it because I think we see the opportunity to build that relationship with the client. It's not just this one matter, but it's other opportunities. If we can do well, we can grow that relationship.
One of in all the businesses that I've started in my life, one of my big focuses was hire the best attorneys money can buy, because what you're paying for, especially in the legal world, is not the document. It's the strategy. It's the path to strategy to achieve your objectives, but strategy to also to avoid pitfalls and that it could occur, whether it's with your employees, whether it's with your partners, whether it's with the government.
Right.
And it always makes sense to have people on your team on the legal side that have been there and done that a few times around the block.
Absolutely.
And so that's one of the I feel about the DSO industry group is that it's easy because they control such a large portion of the deals that are happening in this space. They've become the authority,
right?
Because the sheer amount of experience.
Sure.
And again, I've never ever argued with my attorneys about what price it would be, because you know what, it takes years of experience and just grinding to learn the law, the business, and all the nuances and complexities.
Right. It's interesting. I mean, the things you're talking about in terms of what make the DSO group successful, or make a lot of the firms, other lawyers and practices. We have 5 departments, 29 practice groups, some of which you've experienced in the work you've done with the DSO group. But I think, the common thing that is sort of consistent across all practices and offices is the successful lawyers are true experts in their field.
Right.
They've done this deal before. They know the industry very well. But then there's added things that make them really good, and it's the timeliness, the responsiveness, and following up, working collaboratively with not only your client but with other providers to the client to get the client's transaction done or reach a certain achievement or goal. And I think that's really important, in addition to just solid legal work. I mean, it's sort of the underlying base, but all of that stuff, that communication, that timeliness, recognizing that we don't live in a world where things really don't stop. It's a 24/7 world. Clients have problems. They don't wait till Monday at 9 o'clock to happen.
That's right. That's right.
And our folks are responsive to that. So I think, obviously, technology's helped that. It's helped lawyers be more responsive, and we try to show that being a really good lawyer, in addition to just solid legal skills and experience in the industry, is part of that customer service. Customer service is really an important element of what we think is a successful legal practice.
It's very obviously, and sometimes again, the lawyers will get. They're so busy that they don't have time to call you. They don't have time to respond back. They don't have time to send you an email. And that's another thing I've noticed about the group here is that it's extremely timely, and they've always gone above and beyond. It's not always about the billable time.
Yeah.
And it's nice to feel that way.
Right.
You don't feel like, man, do I really ask this question?
Yeah.
It's
tough. I mean, I think. For those, it's really important that you have a good relationship with your counsel, and that you have the ability to ask those tough questions. And when they come to you, they don't always come to you again during the business hours. They may come to you when you're standing in the shower or you're taking a run.
Right.
That's okay. That's what technology is allowed for. And just like our lawyers, I mean, if they find a solution or they find a better way to do something, we encourage people to reach out to the client, engage them. I mean, when you're helping a client solve a problem, it's sort of a joint venture.
Oh, absolutely.
It's about trying to get in a common place with shared objectives, and I think that's really kind of what makes a successful lawyer, and I think a successful firm if you have colleagues that do that.
What's our Dykema's plans moving forward? Are you guys going to grow in other cities? What's the future look like?
Yeah, so the firm, is an Amol 200 firm. We have about, give or take today, 375 lawyers across 12 offices, from LA all the way to DC and in between, with large presence in the Midwest and in Texas. I think our goal is to do a couple things. One is we're very good at, I think, trying to do certain areas, industry groups. This is a good example. DSO is a very, very focused area.
Right.
We have others like automotive and financial services. what we want to try to do is scale that work for the clients that we're doing for. So when we work with the client, moving with the client to where their priorities are. So if they have, litigation in California that they need more work, we have a California office. But if they're growing in other places that we don't have a presence, we don't necessarily want to give that work up to others. But if we can make the business case and find the right people to join the firm, then we're going to look at that. So we're out looking for different opportunities to grow the firm, not only in the places where we already are, but in new markets where our clients are and where they have a need for legal services. That and I think more of an approach to not just in that particular area, but how does it affect all the business that they have throughout the country?
That's fascinating. No, I've my interactions have been over the last 5-6 years, and they have been exemplary. I've spent a lot of time with your folks. Every time I come to Dallas, they allow me to use the conference room. Like, well, anytime you want to use the conference room, I've entertained people in your conference rooms. At the end of the day, this is a people business, and you want to treat people like you want to be treated.
Right.
And I think that's something that I've taken away from your organization. It's filled with people who care about other people.
Yeah. Well, just seeing like our staff come together for this, they work really hard. I give a big shout out to all of, thank you to both the DSO team and all the staff in the firm that really did the work to put this event on. It's a testament to our ability to work, even during these circumstances.
Yes.
With the pandemic still going on, with a lot of challenges. But they sort of rise to the level, and they actually enjoy working with each other. And I think that's a big part of the success. Is if you like your colleagues, you like the work that you do, and you feel like there's a common interest and respect, and it feels good to come to work every day.
No, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having us here.
Yeah.
And letting me participate in this event.
Thank you for being a sponsor and the opportunity to talk during your podcast. It's
Thank
great.
you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Good to see you.